Now human eye here now, the most important points I'll put before you, which are important for EAMCET, Comet K, JIPMER and AIMS and all other competitive exams here now. Human eye is embedded in the orbital fossa by certain muscles here now, which are called extrinsic muscles. Six of them are there holding the eyeball intact here now. They are superior rectus, inferior rectus, medial rectus, lateral rectus. Apart from this, superior oblique, inferior oblique. The 6 muscles are there holding the eyeball intact within the orbital fossa. Then apart from this, eyeball is associated with certain eye glands now. They are number 1, gland of Mole. Gland of Mole. Gland of Mole is a modified sudorific gland. Modified sudorific or sweat gland here now. They are present at the base of eyelashes. Present at the base of eyelashes. They are present at the base of eyelashes. Gland of Mole here now. Meant for lubrication of the eyelashes here now. Next, number 2, you have Jay's glands. Jay's glands are the modified sebaceous glands. Modified sebaceous glands. They are present in the follicles of eyelashes. Follicles of eyelashes. And their secretion is also responsible for the lubrication of eyelashes. The infection of Jay's gland results in stye or hardolium. Infection of Jay's gland results in stye or hardolium. The next, number 3, you have meibomian gland. Meibomian gland is also called tarsal gland. They are present at the base of the eyelids, upper eyelid and lower eyelid, that is margin of the upper eyelid and lower eyelid. Meibomian gland secretes an oily substance that helps in spread of tears evenly over the eyeball. Oily substance that helps in spread of tears evenly over the eyeball. Next, you have lacrimal gland. Lacrimal glands are there at the corner of the eyeball. They secrete tears. They secrete tears. Tears keep the eyeball moist here now. At the same time, tears have a bacteria killing enzyme called lysozyme. Bactericidal enzyme called lysozyme. Another important point, dear students, now the extrinsic muscles are under the control of 3rd, 4th and 6th cranial nerves. They are under the control of 346, that is 3rd, 4th and 6th cranial nerves, which are motor in function here now. Now eyeball, it has got 3 important layers here now. You call it fibrous tunic. The outermost is called fibrous tunic. Middle one is vascular tunic. Inner one is nervous tunic. Outer fibrous tunic, middle vascular tunic, inner nervous tunic. Now this is the fibrous tunic here now. This entire thing is the fibrous tunic here now. This fibrous tunic is made up of fibroelastic connective tissue with numerous collagen fibers. Fibroelastic connective tissue with numerous collagen fibers. Now this fibrous tunic is in turn divided into sclera and cornea. This entire posterior part of the eyeball here now, which is embedded in the orbital fossa, is sclera. Sclera is slightly bluish white in tinge here now. It has got bluish white tinge here now. It is made up of fibroelastic connective tissue and numerous collagen fibers. It gives definite shape to the eyeball and even protects the eyeball from external shocks here now. At the anterior end, it is slightly bulged here now, like this. It is bulged to form cornea. It is bulged to form cornea. So the posterior part of fibrous tunic is called sclera. The anterior, slightly convex part of the fibrous tunic is called cornea here now. Cornea is made up of exclusively collagen fibers, that's why it appears whitish here now. Now the cornea is externally lined by a simple squamous epithelial layer. This is a simple squamous epithelial layer called conjunctiva. This is the conjunctiva, which is made up of non-keratinized simple squamous epithelium. Okay, so the cornea and conjunctiva put together constitute cornea, conjunctiva and sclera. All three of them collectively constitute fibrous coat here now. Now at the junction of cornea and sclera, a small junction, this particular part is called limbus. The junction is called limbus here now. Within the limbus, a canal called canal of Schlimm is present. Canal of Schlimm is present within the limbus here now. It also contains the blood capillaries. Through the canal of Schlimm, excess amount of aqueous humor which lies in the anterior part of the eyeball is drained into venous circulation here now. To maintain the intraocular pressure, whenever it accumulates in large amounts, it is drained out into the venous system through canal of Schlimm. Then below fibrous coat, there is a vascular coat here now. This is the vascular coat that lies below. Okay, which is also called choroid coat. So vascular coat has choroid coat, ciliary body and ciliary processes and iris. So all of them put together called vascular coat. Vascular coat is also called uvea. Vascular coat is also called uvea. So this is the choroid coat here now that lies below the sclera. This choroid coat is pigmented and it is made up of numerous blood vessels here now. It is highly pigmented here now to prevent refraction of light rays. At the same time, it is deposited with numerous blood capillaries here now. Okay. Then towards the anterior end, it forms iris diaphragm. Like this, it forms iris diaphragm here now, extends into the eyeball in the form of iris diaphragm. The same time, towards the inner side, it has a structure like this called ciliary body. And ciliary body in turn gives rise to ciliary processes. Ciliary processes. So there is an iris diaphragm. This is the iris diaphragm here now, and there is a ciliary body and ciliary processes here now. The ciliary processes secrete the ciliary processes, they secrete aqueous humor. Aqueous humor. The liquid content that lies in the anterior chamber of the eyeball is called aqueous humor. This entire chamber is called aqueous chamber. Aqueous chamber is filled with the fluid content called aqueous humor. Aqueous humor nourishes the cornea. Okay, at the same time it helps in maintaining the intraocular pressure here now. Nourishes the cornea, helps in maintaining intraocular pressure. That aqueous humor is secreted by ciliary processes. And whenever there is excess amount of aqueous humor, it is drained out through the canal of Schlimm into the venous circulation. Then the ciliary body contains ciliary muscles here now. Ciliary body contains ciliary muscles. Ciliary muscles help in altering the curvature of the lens here now. Ciliary muscle, there are two kinds of muscles here now, circular muscles and meridional muscles here now. Both of them help in altering the curvature of the lens depending upon the distance of the object here now. Then here the ciliary body in turn gives rise to a suspensory ligament. The suspensory ligament helps in holding the biconvex lens. Like this, lens is held intact. Lens is held intact by means of suspensory ligament. So you have a human eye has a biconvex lens, that lens is held intact by means of suspensory ligament that arises from ciliary body, Now there are two kinds of muscles in the ciliary body, as I made a mention earlier, the circular muscles and meridional muscles. Whenever these muscles of the ciliary body, they contract, whenever the ciliary body muscles contract, okay, the choroid coat is pulled inwards, when the choroid coat is pulled inwards, okay, the lens becomes more convex, I repeat once again, whenever ciliary muscles contract, the choroid coat is pulled inwards. When the choroid coat is pulled inwards, the suspensory ligaments becomes more flexible, When the suspensory ligament becomes flexible, the lens becomes more convex. That is depending upon the distance of the object, the curvature of the lens is changed, Okay. In order to focus the objects which are far away from the object, the lens has to become concave. How the lens becomes concave? The lens becomes concave by the tension developed in the suspensory ligament. The tension in suspensory ligament develops when the ciliary muscles are relaxed. When the ciliary muscles are relaxed, the choroid coat is pulled outwards. When the choroid coat is pulled outwards, okay, the ciliary muscles are relaxed. At the same time, the suspensory muscles, the suspensory ligament is more tensed. When the suspensory ligament is more tensed, lens becomes more concave. When the object is far away from the eyeball, when the object is nearer to the eyeball, lens becomes more convex, because of the relaxation of the suspensory ligament and contraction of the ciliary body muscle and outward movement of the choroid coat. So I repeat this point here now. Whenever the circular muscles and meridional muscles of the ciliary body, when they are relaxed, the suspensory ligament becomes more tensed, As a result, the lens becomes concave, so that near far off objects can be easily focused. And whenever the object is nearer to the eyeball, lens becomes more convex because of relaxation of suspensory ligament and contraction of ciliary body muscles. Like that, the ciliary body muscles help in changing the curvature of the lens depending upon the distance of the object here now. Okay, all three of them, ciliary body, ciliary process and choroid coat, all three of them can be collectively called uvei here now. Now the iris diaphragm here now, the aperture that lies at the center of the iris diaphragm is called pupil. This pupil helps in regulating intensity of light that enters into the eyeball. Even iris diaphragm has two kinds of muscles, dilator muscles and constrictor muscles. Dilator muscles are under the control of sympathetic system, which are responsible for dilation of the pupil. Constrictor muscles are under the control of parasympathetic system, which are responsible for constriction of the pupil here now. Like that, the circumference of the pupil changes according to the intensity of light here now. And pupil is slightly wider in women and narrow in men. Then the innermost layer is the nervous cord, that is retina. This is the retina part that lies below choroid coat here now. Now the retina in turn, it has outer pigmented epithelium, below that it has photoreceptor layer, below this it has bipolar layer, below this it has ganglionic layer. And there are 4 layers in the retina here now. This is the pigmented layer that lies just below the choroid coat here now, which is called non-nervous part, and this is called nervous part here now. Nervous part in turn contains photoreceptor layer that consists of rods and cones here now. Bipolar neurons are present in bipolar layer. Then there is a ganglionic layer here now. Ganglionic layer is the innermost layer of the retina, and outermost layer of the retina is a pigmented epithelium that comes in contact with the choroid coat. The photoreceptor layer of the eyeball, it has got two kinds of receptor cells call them rods and cones, Now rods are meant for night vision and dim light vision. They are deposited with a pigment called rhodopsin. Rhodopsin is also called visual purple, and it is formed by combination of retinol and opsin. Retinol is derived from vitamin A, carotenoid pigments, and there is a protein called opsin. Opsin and retinol, both of them combine to form rhodopsin. Rhodopsin is also called visual purple and it is responsible for night vision and dim light vision And the vision which is contributed by rods is called scotopic vision. Vision which is contributed by this is called scotopic vision Then another photoreceptor present in the retina is the cones Cones are made up of a pigment called iodopsin. Iodopsin is also called visual purple. And iodopsin is responsible for daylight vision, artificial light, and color vision. Okay, they are responsible for daylight vision, artificial light, and color vision The vision that is contributed by cones is called photopic vision. Vision that is contributed by cones is called photopic vision There are three kinds of cones in the human retina Those three are meant for discriminating three basic colors You call them erythrolabes. Erythrolabes are meant for discriminating or identifying red color. Chlorolabes are meant for detecting the green color. Cyanolabes are meant for identifying blue color. So the ability of the human eye to identify the three basic colors and colors formed by mixing of the three basic is called trichromatic color vision theory. What do you call it? Trichromatic color vision theory. This concept was put forth by Professor Wald, for which he was awarded Nobel Prize Okay. Then the part of the retina that lies opposite to the pupil is slightly, it is concave like this This concave part of the retina is called, the entire concave part is called yellow spot or macula lutea. The concave part that lies opposite to the pupil is called yellow spot or macula lutea. The central depression of macula lutea is called fovea centralis or area centralis. It is called fovea centralis or area centralis. It is meant for acute vision. It has got large number of cones, than that too preferably erythrolabes and chlorolabes. More number of erythrolabes and chlorolabes are present in the fovea centralis or area centralis region. And towards the periphery of the yellow spot the cyanolabes are present Okay, cyanolabes are present. Then part of the retina which is innervated by the optic nerve is called blind spot. Blind spot, it has neither rods nor cones Now this lens divides the entire eyeball into two parts The posterior chamber of the eyeball is called vitreous chamber and the anterior one is called aqueous chamber. Vitreous chamber is deposited with vitreous fluid which is jelly like. Vitreous chamber is deposited with vitreous fluid which is jelly like that nourishes the retina part, and at the same time it helps in maintaining intraocular pressure. Vitreous humor is secreted by the retina itself, whereas aqueous humor is secreted by ciliary process And the part of the retina that comes in contact with the choroid coat is called ora serrata. This part where it comes in contact with this is called ora serrata. And what is the mechanism involved in the vision At night or in the dim light there will be a phenomena. There is a phenomena called night adaptation Okay, depending upon the intensity of light the iodopsin, rhodopsin present in the rods gets bleached. Rhodopsin gets bleached into retinol and opsin here now. And during the breakdown of the rhodopsin here now, human eye cannot see the objects clearly here now. The objects are blurred here now. The same time, pupil also takes little time here now to dilate itself or constrict itself here now. So during this period of dilation or constriction, the objects are blurred. They cannot be seen clearly here now. So during the bleaching process, at the same time, dilation or constriction of the pupil, objects are not clearly seen here now. Okay, that is called night adaptation phenomena here now. Then during daytime here now, the cones are responsible for identifying the objects here now. There is color vision and daylight vision here now. And at the same time, artificial light here now, when there is artificial light also, cones are functional, enable the human being to identify colors here now. Now we shall talk about certain now eye disorder, the most important eye disorders, where the questions can be asked in the EAMCET, AIMS, JIPMER, COMET case, so on and so forth. Now the most commonly used eye disorder is myopia, which is also called short-sightedness. Myopia or short-sightedness, only where only near objects can be seen clearly, distant objects cannot be seen here now. Distant objects cannot be seen because there are two reasons here now. Size of the eyeball increases. Size of the eyeball increases. Number one. Another reason is lens becomes more convex. Lens becomes more convex. As a result of that, only near objects are clearly seen here now. Distant objects cannot be seen. In case of this, the object which is far away from the eyeball here now, the image of this object is formed in front of retina here now. The image of the object is formed in front of the retina here now, because of increase in size of the eyeball or because of more convexity of the lens here now. Because of more convexity of the lens here now, the image of the object is formed in front of the retina, and it is rectified by increasing the focal length. For this, biconcave lenses are used here now. Biconcave, this is rectified by using biconcave lens. So biconcave lens is used here now to rectify myopia or short-sightedness here now. Then you have another condition, another eyeball disorder called hypermetropia. Hypermetropia is also called long-sightedness, where distant objects are clearly seen, near objects cannot be seen clearly here now. Near objects, the image is blurred here now, but distant objects here now, the image is very acute. Now in this, eyeball, size of the eyeball decreases. So eyeball becomes small, number one, or number two, lens becomes concave. The curvature of the lens decreases. Okay, the curvature of the lens decreases here now, concave. Eyeball becomes small or curvature of the lens decreases here now. When the eyeball is small, okay, the only near objects, distant objects can be seen clearly. The object which is near to the eyeball here now, the image of the object is formed beyond retina. The image of the object is formed beyond retina. The image of the object is formed beyond retina because of the concavity of the lens and decrease in size of the eyeball. Now this is rectified by using biconvex lens, you know. This is rectified by using biconvex lens, so that biconvex lens decreases the focal length. So rectified by biconvex lens. There, for myopia, biconcave lens is used to increase the focal length here now. For hypermetropia, biconvex lens is used here now to decrease the focal length, so that the image is formed right at the yellow spot. Now the third one is astigmatism here now. Astigmatism, there is a curvature of the lens, you know. Curvature of lens takes place, or sometimes cornea also, there will be curvature of the cornea. Cornea undergoes curvature. So there is curvature of the cornea or curvature of the lens, you know. As a result, image is not clear, it is blurred. So blurred image is formed. Blurred image is formed, and this is rectified by using cylindrical lens. Rectified by using cylindrical lens, you know. Then another disorder is presbyopia. Presbyopia is called older hypermetropia. That is, hypermetropia noticed in the old people. Once they cross 45, most of the old people are prone to get this, you know, presbyopia, hypermetropia in older age, you know. Now this is because of loss of elasticity of lens. Loss of elasticity of lens. Because of loss of elasticity of lens, you know, lens always remains very biconvex, you know. As a result, only distant objects can be seen, near objects cannot be seen clearly, where the image of the near objects is formed beyond retina because of more convexity of the lens, you know. Now this is rectified by using bifocal lens. Rectified by using bifocal lens. Bifocal lens are used, you know, to rectify presbyopia, older hypermetropia condition, you know. Then fifth one is cataract. Cataract is because of infection of the lens, you know. The lens gets infected, as a result it appears whitish, you know. The entire iris part appears whitish, you know. It is also called Safed Motia. Safed Motia, and it is rectified by surgery. The lens is replaced, you know. Then next you have trachoma. Trachoma is caused by a bacterium called Chlamydia trachomatis. Is trachoma, you know. Trachoma is caused by a bacterium called Chlamydia trachomatis. This Chlamydia trachomatis causes keratinization of cornea, of cornea. As a result of keratinization and scarring of cornea, you know, sometimes it may lead to blindness, you know. And this trachoma is also called kala motia. Cataract is called Safed Motia, and trachoma is called kala motia. This can be rectified by medicines, drugs, antibiotics and all that, you know. Then seventh one is glaucoma. Glaucoma is due to excess secretion of aqueous humor. Sometimes the canal of Schlimm, which is there near the limbus part, gets blocked, you know. So as a result of that, excess amount of aqueous humor is not drained out from the eyeball. So that leads to swelling of the eyeball, you know, inflammation of the eyeball, pain, then continuous watering from the eyeball. If it is not rectified, it may even damage the rods and cones because of increased intraocular pressure, you know. It is rectified by medicines in the initial stage. If it becomes acute, it has to be rectified by laser surgery or a simple surgical procedure, you know. That is called glaucoma. It is due to excess secretion of aqueous humor. Then apart from this, there is another disorder, strabismus. Strabismus is eye squint. Eye squint, you know, it is one of the disorders of the eyeball, you know, that crops up due to malfunctioning of one of the extrinsic muscles of the eyeball, you know. Those 6 muscles, you know, when there is a malfunctioning or defect in one of the muscles, you know, it results in squint or strabismus.